Good morning, afternoon, or evening, everyone. It's Gab Nico here, and today we are going to talk about something that involves the dead and cemeteries, or rather, the haunted. Because today we are going to talk about a topic that is, for me, something that has seen a rise in our society that is filled with instant relationships, instant messaging, instant gratification. In this instance, also have a negative. That is instant rejection, instant denial, and instantly having a relationship be broken and not even know why. Through what we call ghosting. But before we go in depth, cue intro. Ghosting is a concept that many of us are quite familiar with. It's something that we may have heard of during a podcast or seen in a story post or comment somewhere in Facebook or Twitter, or something that a friend of ours, our family, or we ourselves have experienced during this past few years of the rise of social media. And it is also something that we can see many people do in websites like social media sites, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or dating sites like Tinder, Bumble, and OkCupid. And in web forums where we try to find friends, especially in Reddit's R4R subreddits. It's easy to find a partner, a companion, or even a lover in those websites, to find someone you can talk to, and to find someone or something, a kind of spark with a person. But sometimes it just ends abruptly, and it ends without a reason or without anyone telling you what happened. And that is what ghosting is. Ghosting is when someone enters a relationship and leaves it, leaving the other person or the partner without a clue of what happened, why it happened, and why they left. And this is a phenomena that has been on the rise, especially ever since social media started in this country and in every other country. I myself has made a very big cemetery of ghosts in my own social media. So why is ghosting something that has become so popular in the relationship landscape of our days? Well, there are a lot of reasons, especially for us Filipinos and Asians, on why ghosting is something that we do. Now, one of the main reasons that I have seen in most people who ghost other people is that because they want to avoid conflict, or they are afraid to tell the truth. Ghosting is a phenomena that happens because during these encounters, they don't want to waste or lay waste to the effort of their partners or the people that they talk to. And they don't want to show that it was a waste of time trying to talk to them. That's why they end up just leaving. But this kind of actions in a relationship is very negative for a partner most of the time. Because when you leave someone without telling the reason why you left them, it just leaves them thinking of why they left. They ask questions and they question their self-worth because they don't know why or what happened. But it's also something that I say is very used because it's a very good defense mechanism for our psychology. Because as a person, as humans, we hate having conflict. That's why we just leave abruptly without saying anything, because we don't want to argue and we don't want to have this deep talk about why you're leaving somebody. So in the end, we end up ghosting them. Ghosting them because without saying anything, there would be no consequences. But ghosting is very negative for both ends of the spectrum. Because if you're someone who ghosts and has a history of ghosting, it would be hard for you to find someone or to stick with someone in a relationship, in a friendship, because it becomes pathological in your psyche to leave people once you don't have much use for them, is one word, or when you don't have like the vibe going. And it's hard for the partner that you've left because they question their self-worth, as I've said before. So right now, a lot of people ghost others because of the encounters that we have. We all know that everything is temporary and fleeting, but I think that even though if things are temporary or fleeting, we need to say our goodbyes properly so that we don't end up hurting the other party. So when we talk about ghosting, yes, I could say that it's okay to ghost. I myself have ghosted people, and that is for a reason. And that was before. But what I've learned is that ghosting isn't the best way to leave a relationship. We can just be straight and say the reasons that we have for trying to leave a person, because people do come and go for their own reasons. But at least say goodbye. At least say your reasons, because people are also understanding in many ways. So if ever that you have that thought of wanting to ghost a person, then just tell them that you want to end whatever relationship you have, be it a friendship, a romantic one, or just a go and talk. Or better yet, if you're in those websites that I've mentioned, Reddit, Tinder, Bumble, Omegle, be straight with your boundaries and say that if ever you might ghost them, build expectations. That's what I mean. That you're just going to be a temporary person in their life. And if they don't want that, then they should not move forward with whatever relationship that you're going to do. So that's just my 2 cents about ghosting right now. And if ever, as I've said, it's something that's happening very frequently and very commonly in our age and in our era right now. So I do hope that it does stop in this incline, because a lot of people are being ghosted and being traumatized by this. Abandonment issues, rejection, things that we can talk about in another time. But if ever, as a closing, I would just like to tell you that people do understand when things go awry. So please just say your goodbyes and don't leave them in the air. So again, it's Gab Nico here, and if you did like or learn something from the video, do press like, and if anything, it helps me if you subscribe to the channel. Bye guys.
1 a.m., eyes closed, I'm slowly falling to the music and the atmosphere. Now and then, I feel lights fading soft.